All right, Guillaume Sutre, welcome to Harbin. Welcome to the 5th Schoenfeld International String Competition.
Thank you.
Is this your first time in Harbin?
Yeah, absolutely. First time in Harbin. I have been actually in different cities in China, but yeah, first time.
So I know sightseeing hasn't been too much of a thing yet, but what's been your impression of the competition being here and the facilities, the concert hall and the conservatory and other things you've seen here?
Yeah, like you said, we didn't have much time, I would say, for sightseeing. We will do that very soon. But the first impression is quite impressive, I would say. What I like is the mix of cultural heritage and with at the same time the high technology and the vibrant dynamism that we can find in the city. And here in this conservatory, it's great to see how so much, I would say, effort and so much money also is invested for the art and for the music. I mean, we have a great auditorium here, a brand new Steinway grand pianos. It's absolutely yeah, wonderful to see that.
So this is your first time at one of these competitions, at the Schoenfeld competition?
Yeah, first time.
So tell us a little bit about your experience so far, about the level, about coming back after COVID and the experience in the last week or so.
Well, first it's such, I would say, a big pleasure and with a certain emotion to come back after the pandemic, after many years. That's my first days in China. And yeah, to be part of this competition, it's also something very special. I like the idea to have the violin, the cello, but also the chamber music taking place at the same time. As a violinist, but also as I would say, a long-time chamber music player. That means a lot for me. I like also the idea that actually in the last round, in the final, all the candidates will be judged by both violinist and the cellist of the jury. And this is something quite unique, I would say.
Now, let's go back in time a little bit, because this is a competition, but you yourself are a prize winner in some competitions. Have here the first prize in the Alberto Corsi International Competition in Naples and the International Piano Trio competition in Munich. So talk a little bit about that experience as a young violinist and how that changed the course of your career.
Yeah, so that was really two different competitions. The first one was a violin competition. I was quite young, I was 18 years old at that moment. I would say for me that was, I would say like to go, the first challenge is almost, I would say, the competition with myself, the challenge to bring, to breed a repertoire and to be able to play it in a short time in that way. That's already a big challenge, I would say, for young people when you start. That was my first competition, so it was like very new. What I remember also on the important things, it's the comments from the jury after, that you get meeting some legendary musicians, but also some new, the same generation musicians, to make some connections that you will keep all your life. That was something very important. Now the ARD Munich competition, the piano trio, it's a bigger competition. That was I would say, bigger challenge also. It's completely different because you are in a team, so you are not like alone in the competition. And that's also, I would say, for the Munich competition, for example, what it gives, it's a big exposure. Immediately with this kind of competition, you meet some managers, some producers, so it's like a boost to start a career. It can be, of course, like very helpful, but it also can be very dangerous if you are not ready for that moment. So it's always, I would say, the difficult side of the competition is that if you go too early, that you don't have, I would say, some repertoire. If you are not ready, I would say, to be able to perform and to be sure to be re-invited. That's, I would say, the difficulty of the moment after winning the competition.
So you'd say it's almost a balancing act between you encourage students to go into the competitions, but they have to be ready because they're being heard by such an international panel.
Absolutely. And you know, I saw many, I would say, talented, very talented young players who came to competition without, or I will just go as visiting a little bit. So you prepare the first round, you prepare the second one, and you think, I will never be going to the third round or to the final, because that's my first competition. So, but it happened that sometimes actually you are successful and you go to the last one. And I saw some people who just came to the concerto round and they were not ready at all. And that can be like a kind of a difficulty after to recover from that. There is a phrase that I always like is, you never have a second chance to make a first impression. And I think in the competition, that's really the case.
So you teach at UCLA.
I did actually, yes.
Yeah.
Almost like a long time.
Yes.
I was 10 years at UCLA, not far from you actually.
Yes, not far from me.
And but I did quit in 2016. I went to China in the Tianjin Juilliard School for 2 years as an inaugural faculty, and the pandemic came and did change the plans. So now I am in Montreal, in the French-speaking university.
Okay. So with all the violinists that you've worked with, and the young violinists, those who are entering competitions, what big piece of advice would you give to them if they were to enter the Schoenfeld competition?
Well, I would say a little like I said before, to be sure to be really ready to, you go to a competition to go to until the last round, not just to try to take the temperature. So to really be ready to prepare very well. And the more you are ready, I would say, the more you can also enjoy like meeting some other people. I mean, when you are during the time of the competition, of course, you have to practice, you have to prepare, but you also have to be open because you meet some new people, and you meet a new culture when you come here to Harbin. It's also the time to discover a new culture, some new music, and I think it's a source of inspiration that you shouldn't miss at the same time.
Wonderful. Well, Guillaume, Sutre, thank you for joining us, and thank you for coming to Harbin.
Thank you very much.